Hey y'all, so let's get into some wild news about Nicki Minaj. First off, thank goodness she's okay. But seriously, Nicki was the target of another crazy swatting prank on Wednesday night, April 9th. This went down at her house in Hidden Hills, and the whole thing was totally fake. Still, the police came in full force. The lucky part? Nicki wasn't even in town when it happened. Like, this is not just some random joke, it's scary stuff. This is the latest time Nicki's been swatted, and fans are starting to get really worried about how often this is happening and what kind of danger it puts her and her family in. So here's what went down. Law enforcement got a call around 7 p.m., not even on 911, but on the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department's business line. Who even uses that line for an emergency? Anyway, the caller said a black woman had been shot at Nicki's place. And on top of that, they claimed there were still 2 people on the scene. Of course, the police didn't take any chances. They rushed over like it was a serious emergency. But when they got there, nobody was home. The place was completely empty. No crime, no emergency, nothing going on. It was just another straight-up fake call aimed at Nicki. The cops figured out pretty fast that it was a hoax, but still, it's super unsettling. Like, what kind of person plays with people's lives like that? And here's what makes this even more messed up. Nicki and her family weren't even in California when all this happened. Sis was out of town, minding her business, not bothering nobody. Yet somehow, she still ends up being the center of another dangerous situation. It's not just annoying, it's dangerous. And this ain't the first time. Y'all, this is actually at least the 3rd time Nicki's been hit with this type of thing. Fans are fed up, and a lot of people online are calling it what it is: harassment. Let's take it back real quick. In July and August of 2023, Nicki's home got hit with more fake emergency calls. One person said someone had been shot there, and another even claimed that her child was being abused. Like, what? That's seriously crossing the line. And yep, every single one of those calls turned out to be 100% fake. Nothing but lies. But they still brought out the police, wasted resources, and caused unnecessary stress for Nicki and her family. Thankfully, the cops did investigate those past incidents and eventually tracked down someone who was allegedly behind it. Back in August 2023, they issued an arrest warrant for a woman named Stephanie Bell. She was believed to be responsible for at least one of those false emergency calls to Nicki's home. You'd think that would have been the end of it, right? But no. The fact that it's still happening just shows how little fear some people have when it comes to doing this kind of thing. Now let's be real. Swatting is not some harmless prank. It's dangerous as hell. You're sending armed cops into a situation based on a lie. That's not just wasting their time, it could get someone seriously hurt or worse. Remember that recent heartbreaking story about rapper Young Scooter? He died during a swatting incident in Atlanta. The police got a fake call, showed up to a house, and Scooter tried to run. He ended up dying after jumping a fence. The woman who made that call is now facing major criminal charges. The similarities between that and what's happening to Nicki are seriously chilling. These aren't jokes. These fake calls could easily turn into real tragedies. Nicki's fans, the Barbz, are not staying quiet about this. Social media's been buzzing with people demanding justice and protection for their queen. They're saying loud and clear that this has gone way too far. At the end of the day, one thing's for sure: Nicki Minaj deserves peace. She should be able to live her life, raise her family, and do her thing without constantly worrying about someone pulling dangerous stunts like this. Like, seriously, imagine how disturbing it is knowing someone purposely called in a fake report to get armed officers to show up at your house, all while knowing you're not even there. That's next level creepy. This is not just a joke. This is serious harassment. Anyway, we want to hear from y'all. What do you think about this whole swatting mess involving Nicki's home? Do you think law enforcement is doing enough to stop this from happening again? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments. Hit that like button, smash that subscribe. See you in the suggested video.